Cherry Pie, the star of Star Island, isn't actually the star. She looks exactly like the star, but I think Anne is really...
I agree with you. Anne's one of my favorite.
And what is Anne's relationship to Cherry?
Well, Cherry doesn't know that Anne exists. Anne is an actress who bears a physical resemblance to Cherry. Not identical, but close enough. And she's been employed by Cherry's family and management company as what I refer to in the novel as sort of a celebrity stunt double, to go out and be seen as Cherry when Cherry is too trashed to be Cherry. You know, there's a certain obligation you have in the celebrity world, whether it's South Beach or LA or wherever it is. You know, the party scene, the shopping scene on Rodeo Drive, whatever it is, you have to be seen, especially if you're trying to sell concert tickets and CDs and downloads, to be seen as ambulatory before people are going to be paying the $80 a ticket. They don't really want to sit there and see you fall down on stage. So Cherry, unfortunately, is seldom ambulatory. So they've hired this actress named Anne DeLucia, who her job is just to go out to be seen sort of flitting in and out of clubs enough that the paparazzi get their pictures, the fans get the squeal, and then she sits in a back room and eats pizza until it's time to go, and they take her home. It's not a great job, but in the world of starving actresses and actors, you take what you can get. But Anne is my favorite character, because she's intellectually the antithesis of Cherry. She's smart, she's self-aware.
She's sober, which is a huge advantage.
She's sober, but she gets the whole picture. She knows that it's nothing more than it looks like, and she knows her role in the whole thing is just. But there's part of her that wants to go out, you know, and be a real person instead of pretending to be somewhere else. And I think, and in the novel, it talks about these. You know, she's rushed in and out of these clubs and then told to go sit somewhere where she won't be recognized as a fake. And she's, you know, she pines and says, you know, what's one of these days I just want to be able to get up and dance and really enjoy the scene, you know. But, you know, the dilemma starts early, because in one of her drunken evenings, Cherry goes out and gets this ghastly tattoo, or it's actually about 3/4 of a tattoo that she gets, and it's of a centaur's body with Axl Rose's face, and this hideous tattoo. And it's not fit. And so she comes home, and the whole family is just hideous. She's about to go on tour. You can't get it all scarred out. But so Anne now has to go get a henna tattoo that matches this ghastly thing. And this is just the ultimate sort of debasement that you have to do. You know, I'm not getting. You have to. So if they see you, because by now Cherry has posted pictures of this god awful thing on her you know, Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, so that everybody knows she's got it. So now Anne has to, whatever dumb thing Cherry does, Anne has to conform to it. So that was the setup.
Cherry's sort of ongoing nemesis, but not nemesis, is the paparazzi, especially one photographer who's
obsessive. His name is Bang Abbott. I've been wanting to put a paparazzi on a novel for a long time, because I'm attracted to lowlifes. You know, and most novelists, if they're honest, will admit to you that really the most despicable characters are the most appealing to write about. You know, the most interesting. And
good guys are dull.
They can be, yeah. And also, especially bad guys whose motives and whose reasons for being there you can't figure out. I mean, it's money, but what kind of a job is this, chasing around these train wrecks all the time, just chasing from one nightclub to another on South Beach, waiting for some famous person to stumble out drunk? I mean, it's quite a sorry life, a sorry-ass life when you think about it. So I wanted this character because I wanted to get into the head of a character like that. And the Bang Abbott's he's a defrocked newspaper guy who won a Pulitzer Prize that was tainted by allegations that he may have staged the photograph.
Which involved a shark, and I'm not going to say anything else.
Involves an unpleasant incident with a shark. And then he seamlessly moves into the world of celebrity so-called journalism. He likes the chase, he likes the stalking, he likes the staking out, he likes all of this stuff. He's absolutely shameless about it, which is, I think, what you would have to be to do that day in and day out. You'd have to have no conscience and no interest really in art or the event. But his big problem is that, not his problem, but the burden that he lives with is that he had been waiting and waiting for the day when Michael Jackson died. He'd been bribing paramedics and 9/11 operators and everybody he could think of, so that when Michael died, he would be close and he'd get the pictures. And he was, when it happened, chasing on a wild goose chase in the Bahamas, 5,000 miles away from L.A. or however many, and the whole thing fell around him, and he couldn't get back in time to get a single shot. And so it was he felt that was the opportunity of a lifetime to have a guy like Michael Jackson, a legend like that, die. So he's determined not to miss the next celebrity overdose. And he's also convinced that cherry pie is the most likely to crash and burn first. And he develops a kind of an unhealthy obsession for it that goes completely around the bend eventually, because in one startling moment she actually surprises him and has just a spontaneous sexual encounter with him.
You know, it's in some ways it's still not quite up to the craziness of Hollywood. You know, there's still, I'm sure someone will.
It's hard. No, all of this will happen eventually. Everything that happened in this novel will happen eventually, because that's what typically occurs with my books. Not because it's life imitating art. It's just the way life is going now. It's just getting stranger and stranger. But yeah, the characters and you know, there again, a lot of them are pulled. You know, the manager Maury likes. He's not too far off from a couple real life managers of pop groups, boy bands, or pop tarts as they're called. And you just have to crank it up a bit for the satire. But it's hard to crank it up enough these days, because something always happens, it seems to me, that diminishes the effect of the satire, because the truth is always trumping you. You come up with this stuff that you think is very sick and twisted, and you know, I don't want to show my mom some of this stuff, but then it happens in real life.
The book is Star Island. I've been speaking with the author Carl Hiassen, and Star Island, published by Knopf.